Hello, welcome everybody to the Dark Island. I am starting a new series where I look at video games which have strong narratives and just play through them. It's basically a let's play, but games that I've really enjoyed over my many years of playing games. I just wanted to explore them, have a look at how games handle narratives differently, the different techniques they use, from environmental storytelling to cutscenes and actual dialogue, to epistolary entries, diaries and journals, things like that. But before I get into a full series, I wanted to sort of stay on brand for what I've done on YouTube so far, namely promoting my first novel and having a look at Titanic history. I'm going to have a look around today on this demo 401 from Vintage Digital Revival, aka Titanic, Honor and Glory, and just have a look at the phenomenal work that they have done on doing a digital recreation of this ship. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So, exploring, we've got different areas that we can spawn into. First class proms, baths, second class, third class, offices only, crew areas forward, post office and baggage, and the boiler rooms. Let's have a look. Let's stay classy. Let's go first class. I'm bored. I've been following this project for many years. I really cannot wait for the final product to be out and available. Got a nice lengthy load. And I hope to God it hasn't crashed. Which it looks like it may have done. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, it loaded in. Just get familiar with the controls here. A little bit stuttery. Look at that. Beautiful ocean scenes. This is the shell door that first class would have entered in. They would have come up the gangplank from the dockside and been into this sort of reception space here. If we go through these wonderful detailed doors, we find ourselves right here on B deck at the bottom of the grand staircase. This lovely tiling. Fantastic. The level of detail that these guys have gone into to create this is mind-blowing. Look at this cherub here. The other side. Lovely. What I wouldn't give to have actually walked around this myself. Here we have the elevators. Heaters. B deck. I think we all want to go up, don't we? Be rude not to. are on A. And of course, the famous dome above the grand staircase there, shining light on the famous clock, honor and glory, crowning time. There's been lengthy discussions in the Titanic community about whether this clock was actually installed in time for the maiden voyage, because they were still fitting this ship out while she was berthed in Southampton. You know, there were still paint cans and work going on, everything scattered around. You know, even on the morning of departure, they were really behind with fitting out. So there has been discussions whether this clock actually was installed in time for the maiden voyage. I personally think it was, but I guess we'll never know, because the grand staircase, as many of you may know, did not survive the sinking. It's, you know, just nowhere to be found on the wreck. Look at this. Beautiful work. And this was artificially illuminated. There was actually a covering over the top of this on the exterior of the ship, so this was all artificially lit to simulate daylight. What a beautiful space. Look how narrow these corridors actually were. Got some elevator workings there. We won't go there just yet. Let's continue our exploration here. Out onto the boat deck there, port side. See some of the lifeboats hanging in the davits. A little glimpse there through to the gymnasium. Let's go there. Let's go to the gym. Separate times for ladies and gentlemen. And available for children. Thomas Macaulay. You may have seen a famous photograph of that gentleman sat on this rowing apparatus, demonstrating it for the publicity photos. Interesting apparatus here. And I wish I could talk you through which each one is, but I have no idea on this one in particular. I think this was the electric camel. I'm not quite sure what exercise you get from that, but... And look at these. These are fantastic. Maps on display. Cross section of the ship. Beautiful. Lovely. Let's see where else we can go. So to head aft, that would be the officers' quarters there. Let's head back down to A and go forward. The revolving door. I believe there would have been a steward placed at each of these doors. The reading and writing room. Now then, look at this. Exquisite decoration. Come in here with a nice book, put your feet up, read. Over here you've got a little bureau where people could sit and write letters with the onboard stationery. Send them to friends and loved ones, detailing how the voyage had been going thus far. Excellent. Quality of the carpets, the upholstery. Full fireplaces. You may remember this chandelier from the famous shot in the 1997 movie. I believe this statue, I think it's this one, has recently just been rediscovered. It was initially spotted in 1985 on one of the early dives to the wreck after it had been discovered, but they didn't plot its location in the debris field. So it was sort of lost to time until it was recently discovered again this year. Collection of books. Make my way through this maze of chairs. Let's see if I can do something about this stuttering. Hold on. Oh, it's still stuttery. We'll put up with it. Let's go back through another rotating door. See one of the covered promenades here. The deck lines and lines of deck chairs, which I believe you would have to actually rent in order to use them. I could be wrong about that. That might have been just on the boat deck, but look at this linoleum floor. That is loud. Fantastic stained glass. Just not expense spared at all in the outfitting of this ship. Just beautiful. You know, people were on board these vessels for a week at a time, so luxury was of the utmost importance, particularly to the White Star Line, who valued luxury above all else, knowing that Cunard were really the leaders in speed. So rather than try and fight them for blue ribbons, they decided to put all their money into making it the most luxurious crossing that a passenger could have. Could escort a selection of pipes. Date to be announced. Yep. Been hearing that for a while. But you know, these things take time to cook. Look at this beautiful little space. I think this is the palm court. Lovely. Shall we go outside or shall we? Yeah, let's go outside. Let's have a look. More loading. So you can see the A-class promenade. See how it was sort of sheltered, and half of it was open. That was an adjustment made to Titanic. You can see it just down there. On the Olympic, that was fully opened. But I believe passengers sort of complained about ocean spray and whatnot hitting them. So while Titanic was still being built, they decided to enclose that forward area of the promenade to sort of protect passengers, offer them a little bit more comfort as they wandered around. Got one of the cargo cranes here. They'd swing out, pick up crates and pallets full of luggage. The aft mast. Just look at this. Just ocean all around. Very beautiful. Couple of cranes down there. Aft well deck. Leading on up to the poop. Can we get down there from here? That is a good question. Let's take a look around the promenades while we figure that out. So we've gone all the way forward. Let's see where we can get to. This is the covered area, as I was talking about earlier. A good portion of the shape. What is that, like half the length all covered in? It's the photo. Look at this. Look at this as we emerge here on one of the wings. See the bow, forward well deck. Starboard bridge wing there. Just absolutely phenomenal work on this. Beautiful. Crow's Nest, where the drama began. I know she's relatively small in comparison to some of the absolute monsters that we've got this day and age, but just look at this, the time it would have taken to walk from one end of the ship to the other. I'm going at a nice sprint here as well. We are back. So let's head back inside and see where we can get to. Oh, this is more elevator machinery, the second class elevator. Could be wrong. First class aft. Look at that, what a fantastic shot. Just the level of detail that went into all the wood paneling there and the columns and the gilding around the chandelier well and on the chandelier itself, you know. Just absolutely fantastic detailing. Multiple sconces around the walls as well. Absolutely palatial. Smoky broom again. Where can we go? Oh, we have a cabin. So yes, this is the aft staircase, of course. So yes, there were two cabins on A deck at the aft staircase. One of which was resided in by Father Brown, who was on the ship from Southampton to Queenstown. He was the famous Jesuit priest who was travelling back to Ireland, and he was an avid photographer. And many of the photographs that we actually have of Titanic were taken by Father Brown. He wasn't in this cabin. This cabin, as you may have surmised, was actually inhabited by Thomas Andrews, ship's architect and master shipbuilder for Harland and Wolff. Plans everywhere. Reports to this gent, you know, he didn't sit still. He was always appraising the ship, carrying around a notebook, looking what could be done better, what could be improved. He never sat still. You know, he wanted this to be the best ship that he could be. Let's just go back over to Father Brown's cabin and take a look. Look at this, a little Easter egg here. A camera. It's a nice little touch from the developers there. Fantastic. Aft staircase. Smaller clock on this side. Let's go further aft and see what we've got down here. Oh, we're back here. Let's pass through this room quickly then. We've seen this. How far forward can we get? Get told off for running in the corridors, no doubt. Facilities. The narrowness of these corridors. Fascinating. Really making the most of the space that they had. Look at that, a little view out. Oh. Fine. Special notice to passengers. It is respectfully requested that passengers refrain from throwing into the pan any substance likely to choke the pipes or prevent proper flow of water. Otherwise, serious discomfort to the passengers themselves may be caused, and the closet rendered both disagreeable and useless. Passengers are earnestly desired to flush the pan before leaving. Well, I should go without saying, shouldn't it? They believe in the final version of this game, when that does arrive, I think every cabin is going to be available to walk through. You know, there won't be an inch of the ship that can't be explored in some way. It's a mammoth undertaking. Yeah, back down on B deck. Look at the corridor heading all the way down there. Let's head down one more. C deck, we've got a couple of other interesting things to look at, I believe. So, come down into the C deck reception area here. You will find the purser's office. This is where a passenger could come and leave valuables in the ship safe with the purser. Get information on seating allocations for the dining rooms, and generally any assistance you could think of. Some names on here. Brilliant. We can actually have a look in here. Let's have a look what we've got. Any little Easter eggs? Fantastic. Could have just been a bustling hive of activity in the waking hours of the voyage. Who knows what valuables were, being stored at the time of the sinking, what was locked in there that people didn't have time to retrieve. Now then, this is one of the parlour suites. Notice the dramatic change in decoration for these rooms. These were for the cream of the crop. Private bath area. Wardrobe. Tantalizingly left ajar there. What secrets lie within? I don't think that was one of the parlour suites actually, because we're on C deck, aren't we? I believe the parlour suites were just on B. Similar decoration. Towel storage. Just imagine being in these corridors as it was sinking. You see how, although they're relatively straight and grid-like in their layout, in the chaos of the sinking, and as lights started fading and whatnot, you can only imagine the confusion trying to navigate these almost labyrinthine passageways. Maids and valets saloon. Fantastic. Surgery. To the aft of the ship then, in this case. Let's head down onto D. Attendant. The infectious hospital. Now these are the spaces that we don't tend to hear much about. But of course all ships of the of the time would have some sort of infirmary on board, and a couple of surgeons to attend to those in need of their help. A little padded room here. Very interesting. Wonder if anybody actually got put in there. Let's head along this corridor now. What we got? A little cabin. Restaurant manager. Who is this one? Assistant doctor. Chief steward. Excellent. And of course a barbershop. Gents could come and have a trim, a shave. It is what it is. Very nice. Excellent. Let's head down this corridor. Let's go forward. Good stuff. Sea deck forward. Let's go and see what else we can find. And it looks like a dead end. For now, at least. So let's head down and see what else we can see. Great. D-deck reception area. Look at the change in atmosphere here. Beautiful candelabra there. Very green. Musician station. I believe there were 2 bands on board. One to play first and second class areas, and one to entertain third. They would move around to different spots on the ship at different times. There's another entrance. So I actually think it's more likely that I'll have to look into it. I'm sorry, if I've got this information wrong, but this may have actually been the space where the first class would have joined the ship. It's certainly a far more grand entrance to come into this space. But I'll have to look into that and confirm that. Yeah, it's going straight into the dining saloon here, so possibly not. But this is the setting of one of the famous scenes in the 97 movie, where somebody who really would not have been allowed in these areas came to dine with the greatest of the passengers. Nice busy space. And dinner time would have been an event every day, lasting several hours, several courses. Captain would have often dined in there and invited prominent guests to dine with him and catch up on the gossip. Look at this. That is just loud. Yeah, amazing. We're limited to what we can see here, so let's head down further. E deck. Swimming and Turkish baths is down further. Not much seeing here, but if we head down, the rest of the staircase here brings us to F, where the decor really changes into more of this clinical white, and it seems the corridor has become more labyrinthine. Storage cupboards. Oh, and we can go into the Turkish baths. Let's take a look at that in a moment. Head in there. To the Turkish baths. Oh, really trying to capture the feeling of the East. This dome motif here, I believe it was on one of James Cameron's dives, where they actually managed to get an RV into this space and have a look at this, and I think they found this still in situ, and many of these tiles also still in place, sort of preserving the beauty of this area, even through all the ruin of the actual wreck site itself. It's still intact. Electric baths. Come in here and get a good steaming. Good for the skin. Fantastic. What an amazing thing. I have no idea where these guys did their research and got the reference materials from. A phenomenal amount of work. And here we go, this swimming pool. Saltwater pool. Heated to a refreshing temperature. Oh, very nice. A great little space. Let's get out of here. And see where we can find next to explore. See if we can go outside again and have a look at see if we can get into the well deck and onto the actual bow. I think that would make for some good viewing, and likewise head aft to the poop deck as well. I think that would be interesting to see if that's available to us. Let's head up. D deck. There's no exit out here, was there? No. Should have had my map ready. Let's head up one more. Staterooms. We've been down there, haven't we? Tell you what, let's go up to the top. Let's go onto the boat deck. The mighty funnels. Here we go. Straight in there with one of the lifeboats. Look at this as we look up. Absolutely fantastic. Look at the size of them. Compass tower. It's phenomenal. Smoke billowing from the first three funnels. Not so much on the last one. A lot of people think it was just placed there for aesthetic purposes. They thought, you know, putting 4 funnels on would give the illusion of more power than the ship actually had. And it's a bit of a misconception that, while that some of that may be true, several exhausts were made from this funnel as well. Not from the engine rooms, hence the lack of coal smoke coming out of it, but there were certainly some exhausts made from this. I believe they might have. You could actually climb up inside that as well and peek out the top of the funnel, use it as like a viewing platform. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I seem to remember reading that somewhere. I think I might have even seen a photograph of showing a man popping his head out the top of that funnel. Let's go to the officers' prom. It's the little shot of the bridge there. The forward set of boats. See one of the collapsibles there, based on the roof of the officers' quarters. They would have to lay oars at an angle down from that roof in order to slide them down and get them in place. These davits would swing in. You attach your falls to the boat, pull up the canvas sides, lower it down. Gonna go and have a look out of the bridge wing first. Look at that. Beautiful. Stand on this little platform and look out over. Sure, Smith, Lightoller and Murdoch, the rest of the officers stood here and, you know, just swelled with pride at the vessel that they were in command of. Nothing ahead but a horizon. Look at that. And onto the bridge here with the telegraphs. Port engine. Starboard engines. Send instructions directly down to the engine room where they will receive and acknowledge. Brilliant. And of course behind that was the wheelhouse, where you would do the majority of the steering. No compass. Keep your bearing. And of course, telephones to various departments. Probably most famous of all is the crow's nest. Lookouts would have been sat up there. Fred Fleet and Reginald Lee would have seen the iceberg, given 3 sharp rings on the bell for initial alert, and then rung through, where it would have been picked up in here to relay that iceberg had been spotted. Just look at all the rigging as well. There's massive cables anchoring the funnels in place. You look at the space that one lifeboat takes up here. And Thomas Andrews' initial idea for this ship, and the reason he installed these new davit types, was because he wanted an extra row of lifeboats in here. These davits were designed, like I said earlier, to swing in, have falls attached, and then swing them out. So you could launch this first boat, get it in the water, swing the davit back in, pick up the next boat, load, and drop in. But it was overruled because they thought it had looked too cluttered. And you could sort of see, given the space that we've got here, that, yeah, it probably would have looked cluttered, but, you know, what's that next to the safety of the public, right? There we go. So the route into the wheelhouse there. What's in here? Imagine the chart room is back here. So, oh, no, here we go. Wireless. MGY, of course, is the call signal for Titanic. Jack Phillips and Harold Bride would have been working away in here, relaying passenger telegrams, of which there were lots and lots and lots. And at one point during the voyage, the equipment actually stopped working, and regulations said that, you know, you needed to have authorized personnel repair this equipment. Nobody else was allowed to sort of tamper with it or try and fix it. But due to the volume of passenger communications that they had to sort of work through, the boys decided to have a go at fixing it themselves, which of course they did and carried on. And thank God they did, because if that had remained out of action, no distress signals would have been sent beyond the signal flares that they sort of launched off the bridge to try and alert passing ships. So good on them for repairing it. And this is where they would have slept when they were off shift. They would have taken it in shifts to relay those messages. There's just an elegance to ships of this era, and we really don't have it anymore. The modern cruise ships that we have these days, they're like floating cities, and quite frankly look horrible. They're just big and bulky, and there's no character to them. Where these ships in the the golden age of ocean liners, there was just an elegance to them, absolutely. White Star and Cunard alike, and all the other shipping lines that were around at the time, they had something about them. Maybe that's me just romanticizing it a little bit, but I stand by it. Modern ships are ugly. Just fantastic. Let's keep heading aft. See what else we can see. Second class brown. We've been here, haven't we? We need to head down. Let's head into second class elevator and stairwell here. Air deck. This is the staircase. If you've read my novel, A New Dawn, this is the staircase on which Eleanor hurts her leg when she trips and falls. Second class smoking room, I believe. We can head out here now. And we've got this is the mast coming down into the superstructure. Imagine climbing that rigging. No, thank you. More cranes. I can head down into the aft well deck. That is a shot of Scotland Road, the longest passageway on the ship, on E deck. It was a crew passageway, ran the entire length of the ship. Cargo hatches. These cranes would be dropping the loads into these, straight down into the cargo bays. Again, more cranes here. And this is the poop deck. This is a third class space. They could come up and take the air. Here we are, very stern of the ship on this fantail stern. It's things like this that give the ships of this period a little bit of character. You find a lot of ships these days, the superstructure goes right to the back, and they're just flat, and it's just like a wall of windows, until you get to the very top where entertainment spaces tend to be. You don't have anything like this. You can't just come and stand by the rail and look out to sea. I suppose there's safety aspects that they have to consider these days that really weren't too much of a consideration in 1912. Look at this, the docking bridge. We've got telegraphs here, which communicate with the bridge, and another wheel for steering the aft portion of the ship into dock and getting it tied up. Where tugs would sort of take over and help guide the ship as well. Those instances. But yeah, there's the poop deck, and if we go under here, we should get to third class staircase and common areas. Little piano there and White Star memorabilia, posters and advertisements. And even looking at this is for steerage class. You know, these are the poorest people on the ship, and it's still a lovely space. And as all accounts would have it, these spaces were, you know, the most luxurious that people in third class would expect to ever come across. You know, this was palatial living to them. We're not allowed there. Got cases in the way. See if we've got some examples of cabins. There is cargo hatch. Look how small these are now compared to what we saw on the upper decks. Very utilitarian. This is one of the watertight doors. They just slam shut. Look further down one of the cargo passages there. Another watertight door. You know, this is where the scary stuff would have been happening. You know, down in the bowels of the ship. Let's take a look at that. Into some of these crew spaces. These narrow gantries, narrow ladders, where we can have a look at these phenomenal reciprocating engines doing the thing, pumping, turning. Absolutely amazing. I'm glad they've opened this up in the demo. What a great space to look at. Look at the size of those engines, man. Of course, you can still see these on the wreck today in the absolutely annihilated stern section. It's wide open. You can truly get a sense of the scale of them. Great space. Of course, we're carefully climbing these ladders now. Nice and slow. And oh no, buckets in the way. How will I ever get past them? If only I could stride or jump. Anyway, let's leave this space. Brilliant. This is Scotland Road. Look how long this is. Head down here to third class dining. Look, again, very basic in comparison to the second and first class spaces, but boy oh boy, this would have been luxury to the people of third class. It would have, been giving them a taste of, the promise of the new world. Many people will live in Ireland and Europe and other areas for the promise of the American dream, streets paved with gold and poverty no more. And to those people, I imagine these spaces and this level of living, 3 meals a day, would have been a taste of what's to come. You can just imagine the excitement on board, which, as we all know, for many would ultimately never come for the passengers of Titanic, but there it is. What a shame. Bathroom. Steward's lavvy. What's have we got here? Emergency door. Second class stewards. Scullions. Another steward's lavvy. Very nice. There used to be a belief in the community that Scotland Road sort of was responsible for the rapid flooding of the ship. But if you think about it logically, the further aft you get, with the angle of the sinking, that belief would then be expecting water to be flowing uphill, which just was not the case. So, and that sort of plays into the long the long belief theory that the D-deck shell door that was left open also contributed to increased flooding during the sinking. But again, for that to have been the case, you would have had to believe that water could flow uphill, which just is not the case. You can definitely see how one could get lost in in these lower deck areas. Let's see if we can find back that emergency door that led somewhere. Where was that? Ooh. First of all, boiler room. Let's go and pay the Black Gang a visit. These ridiculously narrow walkways and ladders. Wow, look how... I mean, I'm feeling claustrophobic right now. Let's head down this. Oh, yeah. Massive engines. Boilers even, not engines. What am I talking about? There's number 2. Okay. Oh, Let's head out of here again. Watching our heads. Running all the way. Oh my, where does this lead? Yeah. That is one of the uptakes from the boilers. Amazing. Just how narrow these spaces are. Let's head back on Scotland Road. Okay. Drying room. Emergency door. First class main stairway. I really cannot wait to see the finished product of this. I don't know how long it's going to take, but one day I hope it materializes. It really is a digital museum. You know, we don't have these ships around anymore to physically step on and look around, so detailing of this standard is the next best thing. But now I can't remember my way out. All the way forward. Nope. Nope. Huh. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can take a shortcut. If there's a way we can teleport. Nice dramatic music there. Second class enclosed promenade. I believe this this space was actually used as sort of a childcare area at some points during the voyage. You know, like a creche almost. We're on starboard here, aren't we? That would have been the other side, where second class passengers would have boarded through these shell doors into this space, handed the tickets over and been welcomed aboard by the stewards. Second class smoking room. Or is this the reading and writing room? It might be the reading room. Yeah, I think it is actually. And this is where the orchestra would have set up to play for the second class. That's the F deck again. Let's head up. I just want one last place to try and find now. If we can. I'm gonna get to it from here. Let's head up one more. Two more. Okay. Push forward. Forward, forward, forward. I wonder how many people caught their head on these lines when they were lost in conversation. So this covered area here, that is a staircase down. That's really what I want. I want to see if I can get down into the forward well deck. You don't want to let me though at the minute. Been here. First class comms. Can't really complain about those load times. The level of detail that it's trying to load up is is quite astounding. So just gotta put up with it. You know, I thought I'd studied this ship enough to help me escape. Here we go. First class prom. Let's have a look in here, see if this helps us. Let's push all the way forward. No! Need more signage, White Star. More signage. I kind of want to have a go in that gym though. Let's head down one more level. We may not be able to get out there just yet. It may not be in this demonstration. Which, you know, is fair enough. Gotta save something for the main release. Yeah, no, it's just gonna be more accommodations. Yeah. Never mind. We'll have to come back and revisit once that area is available. Still, what a phenomenal demonstration of years of hard work. Gotta appreciate it. Support the team if you can. Titanic, Honor and Glory. Look their website up. Just give them your support if you're a fan of this sort of thing. And help the project get across the finish line. So with that, I think we've seen all we can really see at this point. I just want to thank you for watching. If you've made it this far through the video, a like would be very much appreciated in this very infant video YouTube channel. Like I said earlier on, I'm hoping to get more videos out there exploring narratives in video games. I love stories in all their forms. I want to start exploring those, be it games, movies, television, books, all media. Can I have a look into them and explore them and enjoy them. So until next time, thank you very much and goodbye.